Hi everyone, this is Family Talk with me, Pastor Chris Stevens. My wife Helena Stevens is taking a social distancing from me today. Just kidding, all of you. This is a program where we strengthen you, we encourage you, and we provide biblical guidelines for family living. Today I just want to keep company with you because we live in a day and at a time when all we hear is coronavirus or COVID-19. This is not to downplay the seriousness of this particular disease that is ravishing toll on the whole world. But I just want us to just change the flavor a little bit. As we sit in our homes, many states are sheltering, the other nations are still passing around. So I realized that many people are home, and now the cell phone and the TV have become the company. And so we decided to keep company with you today. So the whole program today is just to keep company with you. And so bear with me as I share some insights, some ideas with you as we sit in our home. If you are on a shelter-in-place order, I just want to just share this time with you as we go through this time in the history of the world. Is there anything that we can do as a family as we shelter in, as we, being quarantined from or isolated from a lot of things that we normally do? There are many people who feel very bored staying home, not going through the routine or maybe going to work, except for the healthcare workers and essential staff that have to go to work, maybe the security, have workers to go. But other than that, schools are closed, especially those who are not doing an online program. They are home and they're kind of bored. But for those who still got an online program going, maybe your program is 100% online, you may not be, impacted as much by staying home because you're going to do it online anyway. And so on this program tonight, it's just a way of keeping company with you as you browse your phone, as you watch television. And maybe it's just a way of staying away from the coronavirus talk. Again, not to play down the seriousness of this disease. But, I realized for me, I don't know about you, it made me even sick just by watching the news and keep hearing about this over and over, nothing else. So I just decided to change the flavor. And so I decided to just have some talk with you tonight. I realized that in case like this, where we have this virus that is taking toll of the world and everything now is just the coronavirus, Sometimes you think that's what life is all about. And the question you should ask yourself, will this time pass? Will this moment in history be behind us one of these days, or this is the end? There is a saying, where there is life, there is hope. And where there is hope, there is a light. And when there is a light, there is a way. And so I don't want us to pack our lives and just focus on this virus alone. What can we do? If you watch my message on Sunday, I talk about godly closeness despite social distancing. Godly closeness despite social distancing. I believe this is the time, if you are in a family that the family have been so far apart, I believe this is the time for the family to even come closer together. If you live in the West like I do, people are so busy, always on the run. That's why we have all these drive-through restaurant, drive-through chicken, drive-through hamburger, drive-through fast food. Everything is so fast. People always on the run, and they hardly ever get a good night's sleep, because they have to be on the run all the time, doing one or two jobs, or more than one job, to be able to pay those bills. So while this coronavirus is taking a toll on our lives, and people are sitting home, so to speak, I believe we can see the good in this thing. It is a time now for people to reflect on their lives. It is a time now for the family to come together and fellowship and share thoughts and share love. Everything is not money. I know the bad side of it, because everything there is a good side and there is a bad side. As I said, this program is just to keep company with you, because many people are bored now on their cell phone all throughout. They're watching the news. I mean, every station, every channel, it's just the same thing, how to protect yourself. Why I encourage that for you to protect yourself, I also want to just change the flavor. Let us put our minds away from this, and if you are in a place where you are not being plagued as much as others have been plagued, that I realize that some people who have relatives who are ill, a lot of challenges that we have. But again, we shouldn't put life on a hold, okay? Or we shouldn't pause our lives. We should find a way and see the good out of this and make the best out of it. And that's why I'm here to give you some ideas. How can we take our mind from all that is going on? Because just by listening to the news alone, but what is going on, I'm not saying ignore it, I'm not saying deny it, but that also make you sick if you were well and not, in the vicinity where the thing is so serious. That makes you sick just by just listening over and watching over. And so I believe this is a time for, the family to come together. I don't think social distancing is applying to your family if all of you are well. All right? Because there are laws in some places that, people shouldn't be more than 100 or less or so. But there's some kind of gathering at least. So if in your family of 7 or 5 or 4, whatever, or maybe you and your spouse, that is a good number. If you're not sick in it, it's a good time for people to come together and talk about life, talk about, and talk about other things. Because life is still ongoing. And so I want us to look at the brighter side of all these tragedy that we go, all this tragedy that we're experiencing. I want us to look at the brighter side of life. Let us be able to see beyond this crisis, the good days. Yes, put in and put on all the protective mechanisms and measures that you can to protect yourself. But also I want you to see beyond this time in the history of the world. So if you're a young man or young woman and you're not married, and you be dating someone and you be thinking, and oh, I want to get married, but I don't have the money, I don't have this. Maybe this is the time for you to consider this. I just want to share a story of mine. This was not an epidemic like we are going through in the world today. But my country, where I hail from, we experienced civil war. A very bad civil war where it took a toll of lives. Thousands, even millions died from starvation, from disease, from bomb, from bullets, and all kinds of things. And the whole country, like on the whole, was stand still. And by that time, my fiancé, we were not yet married. And we were looking for the, all the money, we were waiting for everything to be perfect before we could get married. But during the wartime, when war planes were passing over us, and there were curfew and things were so bad, so but why waste time? Why not get married? And when I look back, I really don't regret that time we got married. It was a war situation. Many people could not attend the war because the country was divided. We got how one warring faction taking another section of the country, and another warring faction taking another section of the country. And so where we are, our friends that were available, those were the ones who were able to attend the wedding. Even that somebody never even had close to wedding. Things were terrible. But the record stands that we did get married. And blessedly for us, the church was still operating. We got married in the church because where we were, we could walk to the church. What am I saying? Because during this time of the coronavirus, and everything seemed to be at a standstill, there is a tendency for people to say, I'm waiting when everything is over, then we'll go back to normal. Listen, things may not go back to normal as you expect or thinking. Now people are saying, this is the new normal. So what I'm saying is that I'm trying to throw some ideas to families that are out there, while we're going through this time and you are bored in your home and you just tired watching TV, tired seeing to the same place, begin to seek the Lord's face for some ideas and guidance. Maybe there's some projects. Maybe you can even write a book. You say, Pastor Stephen, you don't know what you're talking about. Write a book? Yes. There's some beautiful ideas that God has given you probably, and you never thought about putting it down for others to know. Maybe God has given you some wonderful experiences. You can put it in a book or a journal or whatever. You can document these things. John Bunyan, we heard, was placed in the prison because of his faith. John Bunyan, a British citizen and a good Christian, was put in prison. And it was in prison that he wrote what we now know, the Pilgrim's Progress. The Pilgrim's Progress. While in jail, he wrote the Pilgrim Progress. Because he couldn't go anywhere, he was there. And he wrote the Pilgrim Progress. Some people say this is the book that is second to the Bible. The Pilgrim Progress. It talks about a Christian journey. How did he come to write the book? When he was isolated, so to speak, when he was quarantined, but in prison. That when he wrote the book. I think about the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul wrote most of the New Testament from prison. So what am I saying? We can bring the good out of the coronavirus or the COVID-19 if we would just ask God to give us some ideas. Because if God have allowed some of you to be going by your normal, so-called normal, every day is just on a run, you might not be able to sit down and reflect on your life and be able to do some things. There's some of you who never had a chance to even work with your kids. If you have kids that are still in high school, some parents, if you're a parent, you have a kid maybe that is in maybe elementary school or middle school or high school, in other places they call it junior high, elementary. If you never had time to sit with your kids to do homework, maybe this is time for you to sit with your students, with your kids, with your children, and teach them and work with them. Do arts and teach them, English or science. You say, oh, I didn't go far in school. All right, whatever you learn in life, maybe this is a time for you to sit down with your kids. And I kept throwing some ideas. As I said tonight, I just keep in company with you, on this family talk. I just keep in company with you. So I'm throwing some ideas. But there's a time for the family to come together and have fun and laugh and, and just talk about life. And that is an opportunity maybe you never had to impact the life of your children by sharing your experiences and your failures that you have had. You share with the children so that they don't make the same mistake that you make as an adult when you probably were their age. So share your experiences, I believe God has given us, or is giving us enough time during this time where we're sheltering. So you can only be bold, because if you use the life that you've been living in now, it has come to a halt. Yes, that may be bad, but I still believe there is good in it. As you sit down, and think about other things about life and reflect on your own life. Maybe your walk with God was not as close as you would love to, or maybe you didn't even know the Lord. Maybe this time God is giving you an opportunity to reflect on your life, because you could be one of those who are dying and not recovering from this disease. Maybe this is the time to even reflect about a life after death. What happened if I die? Is that all it? Is there a life after this place? Maybe this is the time for you to start pondering these questions. And tonight I just want to end this program, as I just throw some ideas to you, for you not to be bored. If you're bored, and tired and want to go back to the normal again, I'm throwing some ideas. Write a book, work with your children, teach them, maybe learn how to play the guitar, play the organ. Learn something new during this time, because you may not have this time anymore. That while you see, there's certain things that God would just allow in your life, and ordinarily, you wouldn't do it because you won't have the time. As I talk about the Apostle Paul, he was put in prison, he wrote book. John Bunyan, he was put in prison, he wrote book. So there are certain things that you may not do if you were given the free time that you always had. You still be to the ball game and be to that place and be to that job, and not sitting at home to reflect on your life. So I believe God is giving us some time for us to reflect on our lives and do and come with some creativity that we would have never done before in our life. Since this is a family talk, I just want to conclude this. Since my wife is social distancing from me today, again, I just kidding. She on some assignment, so she's not here with me. But I just want to use this opportunity, since she's not with me now, okay? I want to just share this, when we were trying to get married, man, we never had money, we were not working, it was during the war. I said, God, I wasn't going to do this. But once we shared our plan with friends and loved ones, they became so generous. They became so kind. And they said, okay, I will do this for you. I will do that for you. I will do that for you. And we never had no money. It's a war situation. Just like, even though we're not going through war, but people have been sheltering and people have been limited, the movement been limited. The situation wasn't as normal. But once we share the idea with other people, God began to move the hearts of people. Even right now, as the world goes through this crisis, I see somebody on the Facebook page, and just begin to dance and play music. I couldn't believe it. More than 100,000 views. So you can see how many people are bold and how many people are just looking out there for some ideas. So when we share our idea with our love and our friends that wanted to get married, they were so generous. They begin to, make pledges. I will do this, I will do that, I will do that. And our marriage, everything that we needed, the clothes, the dress, everything was provided. People were so generous. In war situation, what we call abnormal times. And my wife and I, we were able to walk down that aisle in the church and say, yes, I do, to each other. Maybe doing the so-called normal, we would not have been able to do it, but it was a war situation. We had no money, but God made a way. And so today I'm just throwing some ideas to keep you company with you if you're home. I hope this message have a sound, because we found a new microphone today. So if you're not hearing that sound, it's a new microphone I'm using. I hope that you're getting the sound as I'm sharing with you. But I'm just throwing some ideas to families, and I'm just trying to keep your company. I want you to get your family closer together, and I want you to continue to ask God for wisdom, for direction, guidance, creativity, what you can do during this time, no matter how long it will be, and do something that will leave a milestone, a landmark. As I said about John Bunyan and the Apostle Paul and many other people, they did things in isolation. They did things where it were not normal. The message is tonight, do not put your life on hold. There are so many things you can do during this time. I want to thank all of you today for joining me on Family Talk. Hopefully, next week, my wife will be here. We will be able to share with you some more ideas. I want to pray for families all around the world, those who are hurting and those who are going through difficult times, and those who are as well bored in their home. I want to pray for all of you. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, we thank you, Lord, that you still love us and you still care for us. We pray for families that have been devastated by this terrible virus, that you, God, will bring relief, will bring calm, will bring comfort to them. We also want to pray for others who are so bold, Lord, they don't know what to do, because this is something that they never experienced before. But I also want them, oh God, to focus on you, Lord. Give them ideas, creativity, oh Father God, to make use of this time, because, Lord, help them to see the best out of this time. And Lord God, for those who even can go to work because, Lord God, because of the shelter in place, oh God, in other parts of the world. Those who financially bankrupt, Father, I just pray to provide the needs of family members, oh Father. I just praise you and I bless you. Bye. Thank you for watching Family Talk. I'll see you next week. Bye.